feel like I gotta talk about I feel like I gotta talk about boundaries. Like I feel like that's what's next. Like I feel very passionate about consent and making sure we're not tuning into other people or even just like doing work on other people without their consent, but also that each of us recognizes that we're sovereign beings, that it's our responsibility to hold boundaries for ourselves and the importance of holding boundaries for ourselves because it's just letting this sit for a second. Yeah, we can be kind and compassionate and respectful as we possibly can to one another, but it's ultimately up to us personally or ourselves to set and hold clear boundaries for our emotions, for our body, for our spirit, for our energy, for our time, for wherever we go. And it's people aren't you can't hold on, how do I want to say this? You can't expect someone to respect your boundaries if you don't know what your boundaries are and you aren't able to communicate them. And that's why I feel like getting triggered, and I know that term is used a lot, but I feel like the term of getting triggered or getting irritated or where something happens and getting like having a big emotional response to something, while it's uncomfortable in the moment, like that discomfort, that emotion is a gift because it's showing you like that frustration, whatever came up, is showing you where you have a boundary. It's showing you where you have like you're feeling disrespected or you're feeling unheard or you're feeling, you know, invalid for some reason, and it's showing you that okay, you need to use your voice and speak up or put your foot down or, whatever it is, but it's and you can put your foot down in a kind, compassionate manner and in a loving manner, and holding boundaries for yourself is kind and compassionate and a form of self-love. And I encourage everyone to have boundaries. I encourage everyone to reclaim that power, reclaim that, um, yeah, reclaim that power. Honestly, because, and I feel like I need to share this, and well, I don't know how my mom will take this, but that's fine. But anyways, my should I share this? Yeah, I love my mom. My mom is great, first and foremost. And also, there was a moment earlier this week where I texted her and I asked her if she could track down this photo, or if she had a certain photo, and she didn't know like off the top of her head. And I was like, okay, is that something like I genuinely was curious, like, is that something you'd be willing to look for? And she got very upset. And her response back was very like, what kind of question is that? And I share this in a very loving way of acknowledging like that's her experience, and that's probably her own wounds or own things coming up. And also that's a very clear place where she has some unhealed or potentially has some unhealed boundary um like boundary lines that she's not recognizing. And I don't share that to be harmful or rude or anything like that. Like I said, I love my mom, and I just kind of I left it be at that to see. I still haven't got the photo, but I just kind of left it be. I was like, okay, because I was like that was just an honest, genuine question, and it's, you know, if someone asks you something and your response is more of a, you know, like, why would you even ask that? It's like, I was giving you the opportunity to share if you had a boundary around a, you know, doing what I'm asking. And that concept for people who are so used to people pleasing and so used to putting themselves last, that the idea of giving, like, creating a boundary is like, oh my gosh, how dare you? It's like, how dare you think that I would, you know, put myself above last? And I see this a lot with mothers. I see this a lot with mothers where it's like, as soon as they have a child, their well them caring for themselves just goes out the window. And them caring for their well-being, loving themselves, taking time, and like being able to, like, there's the whole concept of being like touched out. It's like you're constantly helping everyone else, like taking care of kids and animals and spouses and how the home and whatever else, and working, that you get touched out and you get burnt out. And part of holding boundaries and having a boundary book is acknowledging and recognizing that you're a sovereign being and that you deserve self-love and you deserve time for yourself and you deserve to be quote unquote selfish. It's not selfish, it's love. Like, you are loving yourself by taking care of your mind, body, and spirit. You can't be open to everyone all of the time. That's draining and exhausting. And people, whether they know they're doing it consciously or not, will take from you if you keep offering, if you keep giving. It's not necessarily I don't believe that it's a conscious thing very often. I don't believe that it's something people maliciously do. I believe in people's positive intents, but I think it's like, if you're always giving and they know that you're always there to give, they won't figure it out for themselves. So there's a healthy level of boundaries that teaches other people that they are also sovereign beings and they are also empowered individuals capable of overcoming anything and everything that they'll face. And that doesn't mean you don't love them. That doesn't mean you're not there to show up for them when the time feels right and when it feels in alignment for you to show up in a way that feels like you're giving from overflow and not from an empty cup. All of these things are good. All of these things are valid. All of these experiences are valid and important. Oh. I invite everyone to create boundaries with yourself and with others. To be honest, I've gone through one of the things I love is gaining clarity. I love clarity. Clarity is so good. And one of the things I did last year, and I do this occasionally, but I kind of did it in a big sense last year where I went through some of my friendships that I had been feeling a lot of negative emotion towards, and I was really frustrated about kind of how the other people were showing up in the relationship versus how I was showing up, or showing up in the friendship versus how I was showing up, because I had a vision and feeling about how I thought that relationship and friendship was meant to be. And they weren't living up to my expectation. And so one of the things I did is like I I sent out a message like to some of the friends that I didn't talk to a ton and it wasn't a big deal. I just kind of, cleared them from my contacts, let it go. But for the people that I had been really close to and like we had established a very deep friendship at one point, but it felt like things were shifting and that we were no longer that close. I had a conversation with them in different capacities. Some were phone, some were just texts of just like, hey, just wanted to check in. Like, how do you view my friendship, or how do you view our relationship or our friendship? And that gave me a beautiful gift, or beautiful gifts of clarity and knowing, where I stood, and then I was able, in their mind, and then I was able to make an informed decision for myself. Okay, is that the friendship? Is that a type of friendship that I want to continue having? Do I want to continue pouring energy into that? Or am I like, okay, I'm good, I'm free, I can release myself from whatever expectation I was holding and move on? Because I did. There was a couple friendships in there that they they definitely hurt whenever I found out how they viewed me in the friendship. It's definitely not something like, you definitely got to be prepared or be ready that they could, whoever it is could say, I love you, and also, bye. I really only spend time with people that are local, or I they're only getting what you're giving them, and they're not really giving much back. It's whatever you want in your friendships and your relationships. But like I said, I was able to get clarity from a couple different ones last year and use that clarity to step away and send them on with love, send them on with light. I wish them well, and I'm grateful for the friendship and times that we had together. And it's not like I'm not opposed to seeing them again per se. It's just like the depth of that relationship, or those relationships, had run their course for the time being. And it's like, okay, I got to free myself from the grasp of mismatched expectations. And so I share all of that to invite you, if you're listening to this, if you have those relationships, friendships, partnerships in your life that you're like, this is causing me more discomfort than it is joy, it might be time to have a conversation of what role do you play in their life? What role do you want to play in their life? Are those in alignment? Can you find a new agreement, or can you find a new balance together, or is it time to move on, say thank you, I love you, and wishing you well?